Hello everyone, this is Taliesin McKnight, and today we are examining the Kabbalah, and today we will look at two concepts that are very important. And these are the vast countenance and the lesser countenance. Sometimes these are called macroprosopis and microprosopis. The vast countenance is Keter, which is Arik Anpin, the ancient of the ancients, and the lesser countenance is sometimes called Zeronpin, the lesser face. Now, the vast countenance is the Sephirah of Keter on the Kabbalistic tree of life, and the lesser countenance is Tiferet. Now, Tiferet is the sixth Sephirah on the tree of life. Now, there is something very important about the number 6 in the Kabbalah. The Zohar points out that the first word in the Bible is Bereshit, in the beginning. Be means in or with, and Reshit means beginning. Notice that there are 6 days of creation. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim v'teretz. Now, the word Bereshit, according to the Zohar, could also be divided into 2 words. Bara, to create, and sheet, which is not Hebrew. It is Aramaic for 6. Sheesh in Hebrew. Shesha. So, bara sheet, according to the Zohar, conceals a mystery, which is created 6. So 6 is important. Now, in the Tetragrammaton, Yud-He Vav-He is ascribed to the Kabbalistic tree of life. Keter is not really included in the Tetragrammaton, although you can say that it is the tip of the Yud. Chokmah is Yud, the father. Bina is He, the mother. And Yud and He give Vav, which is the son. Now, the Hebrew letter Vav equals 6. Vav in the Tetragrammaton is ascribed to Tiferet, again the 6th Sephirah. Now, the word Vav in Hebrew means nail or hook. It is something that unites different things. It is a connecting link. And you'll notice that the Sephirah Tiferet connects all the other Sephirot, except for Malkut. It has paths from all the other Sephirot to Tiferet. And the letter Vav is a conjunction in Hebrew. It is the word and. A-N-D, and. Like Alice and Bob. This and that. The word for and is the letter Vav. So the letter Vav connects different things. Now the letter Vav also has the number 6 ascribed to it. Vav is Zeronpin, the son. You have the father, mother, son, and daughter, which is all just symbolic. It has nothing to do with like a trinity or anything like that. It's symbolic. It's symbolic. Anyways, so Tiferet, it's not just Tiferet. Zeronpin, the lesser countenance, includes the Sephirot from Chesed down to Yesod. And this creates the Merkava, which I don't really want to go into here. Not going into that here. So yeah, okay, what the hell was I talking about? Oh yes, so the greater countenance is the highest concept of God in the Kabbalah. Keter is the primal point of Ein Sof. It is the concealed of the most concealed, the ancient of the ancients, as the Zohar says it. Now, Keter is Ein Sof, in a sense. Ein Sof brought to a point. Keter has no differentiation. Keter is colorless, although all colors spring from it. All things have their source in Keter. The tree of life is said sometimes metaphorically to have its roots in the heavens so that it's upside down. The tree grows from Keter. Keter is the seed of the tree of life. The seed is a little point, and a seed, say the seed of an oak tree. A seed has the potential for the whole tree, and the whole tree springs from the seed. It is the potential for all things, and all things are contained in the tree of life. Keter is the ground of being. It is the source of all things. Although colorless, all colors spring from it. So that red, green, black, gray, yellow, these are all different colors that spring forth from Keter, or Ein Sof. It is the revelation and self-unfoldment of the potentiality of the infinite, limitless Godhead. So Keter, or Ein Sof, is limitlessness. There are no distinctions. You cannot say that Keter is white or black, because that would be a differentiation. It would be a distinction. It would be a limit. So that Keter transcends all opposites. You'll notice that Keter is on the middle pillar, so it's equilibrium. But Keter is above the other pillars. There are two Sephirot that are above and below the two opposing pillars of severity and mercy. And these are Keter and Malkut. Malkut, because all the other Sephirot manifest in Malkuth. Just like all the other Sephirot come from Keter. So that is why it's sometimes said that Keter is in Malkut and Malkut is in Keter. The Sefer Yetzirah says that its beginning is tied to its end, and its end is in its beginning. The Sefer Yetzirah says that, like the flame is wedded to a coal. Keter and Malkut are connected, because Malkut receives all the Sephirot, and Keter has all the Sephirot. It is the chain of being, from the source to the manifestation. So Keter, I'm going way off topic here. Well, you can just go on and on about this for hours. Now, where am I getting this information? From the Zohar, the Book of Splendor, which is traditionally said to have been written by Rabbi, is supposedly written by Shimon Bar Yochai, the Talmudic sage. But the Zohar suddenly popped up at the end of the 13th century by Moses de Leon. Anyways, this part of the Zohar is called the Book of Concealment. And also two other parts of the Zohar called the Idra Rabbah, the Greater Assembly, and the Idra Zuta, the Lesser Assembly. These parts of the Zohar go on and on about the vast countenance, the greater face, Keter, and the lesser countenance, microcosm, which is the Zeronpin, the lesser face. So everything that I'm talking about is found in the Zohar. Now the Zohar is very highly coded. It talks about, it's a very complex text in this part of the Zohar. Now, Keter, as I said, is the absolute. There are no distinctions within Ein Sof or in Keter. There are no attributes that you could apply to it. All qualities, color, sound, sense, all things spring from it as the source. And all myriad of things are a revelation or self-unfoldment of the potentiality of Keter. But Keter is colorless. It's often said to be the nothing. But it's not nothing. It's the absence of things, differentiation. In actuality, it is a fullness, not an emptiness. So Keter is the absolute of the Kabbalists. How do we come to understand? How do we approach something so transcendent? Something that transcendent cannot really be said to have emotions, such as love and anger. How do we have a loving Father that listens to our prayers when it's just some timeless, eternal, just infinite? How do we reconcile the absolute from the God of Scripture that seems to interact with us. The lesser face, Zeronpine. The lesser countenance, microcosm, which is the Sephirot from Chesed to Yesod, is this lesser face. This is the aspect of God that we can know. This is the aspect of God that is active in creation, that we could relate to. Now it's not two separate gods. That's absurd. It's a more condensed or limited aspect that could relate with creation. So it's not that these are two different deities. These are two different aspects. It's said that the beard from Macroprosopus Keter goes down to Microprosopus. So the lesser face, which is Tiferet, or the Sephirot from Chesed to Yesod, is the aspect of God that we could relate to, that listens to our prayers, that we can know. It is the revealed deity of Scripture. And this also corresponds to the Hebrew letter Aleph. Aleph has a central vav with a yud on each side. The yud above is the hidden, concealed of the concealed. The yud below is the revealed deity. This is the aspect of deity that we could relate to. This is the aspect of deity that could be loving and cruel. Now in Christianity and a lot of our New Age movement, we say God is love, He's peace. Not according to the Kabbalah. According to the Kabbalah, there is balance. God can be loving and cruel, just like nature can be loving and cruel. Nature's not just a bunch of peace and white light everywhere. Nature has earthquakes, it has tsunamis, it has destruction, you have death. These are two opposite sides of a coin. So on the one hand, the lesser countenance could be seen as the revealed deity that we can relate to and pray to. Now, in an entirely different level, now we're shifting. Totally different from the revealed God of Scripture. Another different way of looking at the lesser face is nature. Now, what do I mean by nature? Usually in authoritarian religion, we listen to authority figures. We read the text. And it's supposed to teach us about God. But there is something else, something individual, something experiential to man, that we have to relate to God in nature. Not to mix Hermeticism and Kabbalah. I'm not mixing them. But just looking at it from a Hermetic standpoint, as above, so below. All that is above is a reflection of that which is below. And all that is below is a reflection of that which is above. So what this means is that nature is the unfoldment and revelation of deity. So that we may not know the cause of causes, but we could look at how God interacts with the world. We could look at the laws of the cosmos, the laws of nature. So we cannot know the source, but we can know the effects. So that we could look within the laws of nature and discover God, within the turning of the seasons, within the process of growth and decay. You know, creation and destruction, chesed and gevura. So within nature, we could see the lesser face, the reflected face of the unknowable. Through nature, the universe, we could see reflected the unknowable face of Godhead. Now, Tiferet is ascribed to the sun, S-U-N, and Chesed is ascribed to Jupiter. You know, Yesod is ascribed to the moon. So this could be seen as a sense to the planetary powers of Jupiter, Mars, all of that. Of course, there is one contradiction because Saturn isn't there. The Kabbalah is not always going to fit every little thing. As an example, He is the mother, but He is also Gevura, because it's the fifth, number 5. Well, that's not a contradiction, because really, the female part is the severity. Anyways, going off to some other stuff. nature. You'll notice that the sun, S-U-N, is Tiferet. So you could say that the tabernacle of the Lord is in the sun and in the revolutions of the heavens. Now this is symbolic. I'm not saying it's all, it's symbolic. These are all symbols. So the unknowable Godhead is the greater face, Keter, macroprosopis, and the lesser face, Tiferet, and the Sephirot from Chesed and the Yesod is the lesser face. Now some people will say, well, that's not true. All the Sephirot reflect deity that we can know. That's a good argument, but it's kind of hard to know Binah. It's kind of hard to know Chokmah. And we exist within Malkut. This is just one way of looking at it. Now some people will say, well, that's not fair. These are masculine attributes, the Yud and the Vav. And that's not true. For one thing, Keter is not the Yud. It's the tip of the Yud. Keter has no gender. And the Vav, even though it's called the sun, Tiferet, is also genderless. It incorporates the middle pillar and also the two sides. So you'll notice that the name of deity in Keter is Ehyeh, I am. Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. Now Asher, it's often translated I am that I am. And that's not really that close to the Hebrew. Asher could mean which, or that, or who. So Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh is not just I am that I am. It could mean I am who I am. I am what I am. I am as I am. Anyways, I am who I am. This is Keter. But Tiferet is ascribed the name Yud-He Vav-He Eloah V'Dat, the tetragrammaton, God and knowledge, which also could be seen as a reflection of Dot, as well as Keter. And also it's the knowledge, because this is the knowledge that we see of the unknowable Godhead in Keter. So this is microcosm, the lesser face, which on the one level could be seen as nature, which is definitely the standpoint that a lot of Hermetic Kabbalists would take. Revealed through nature, revealed through the laws, or it could be seen as the deity of Scripture. Now, rather from vanity or insight, there is the idea of the macrocosm and the microcosm, that man is made in the image of God. So if you look within man, you can discover God. So you can discover deity, the unknowable Godhead, by looking at the universe, nature, and its laws, science in a sense, or you could look within yourself. So rather vanity or insight, man is seen as a perfect microcosm of the cosmos and of God. So it all goes back to know thyself. So in summary, even though we can't really know Keter, we see it revealed through nature, through the revealed deity of our prayers of Scripture, and through knowing ourselves. And these are the reflections, just as the moon reflects the sun. And this is all found in the Zohar, in the Book of Concealed Mystery, in the Idra Rabbah and the Idra Zuta. And this is the concept of the greater and lesser face in the Kabbalah. Thank you for joining me. Once again, this is Taliesin McKnight. Take it easy, y'all.